Hello and welcome to another mini training. I am Fabi. I'm a virtual assistant, systems expert, and coach. And I support other female business owners create their own nervous system friendly business through the right systems, platforms, tech, and all the kind of support and habits that we need around working with more ease and to really avoid burnout. This week, I wanted to talk about having the right foundations and systems in place for growth. And I find a lot of the time is something that we skip. We want to grow really quickly. And I know this from my own experience, but what happens a lot of the time is that it can lead to burnout. But also it can be a reason for us to hold ourselves back. And I find that in myself a lot of the time as well, because it's that sense your body usually knows as well. You want to grow, you want to grow your business, you want to take on new clients, but actually, probably with your intuition that you don't have the right systems and foundations in place to really cope with new clients. So, what my own mentor always says as well is if you suddenly had 20 new people wanting to work with you, would you be able to cope with that? And I think that's a really great question. And a lot of the time that really shows, would that overwhelm you? Which is, of course, normal having suddenly loads more clients. But equally, would you have the right systems in place to cope with that, or would you have to do everything manually? And with doing things manually at the beginning of our business, that works perfectly fine. And we don't need loads of automations and everything in place when we start out. But if you start to grow, you will have to, just very simple systems. And I talk about this in a different video, and it doesn't need to be complicated or complicated platforms that we use. But having a few automations in place that can help us to deal with that, even if it's just a simple spreadsheet of having an overview of clients, for example. It doesn't need to be complicated, or so it's just so you don't have like pieces of paper all around your desk, and you can't find anything where anything is, or having email templates at least that you can send the same email out, or even having an email automation system like ConvertKit, MailerLite, where you can automatically send new emails to new clients, or are you handing out kind of a free resource manually each time, or do you have a landing page where people can sign up and they can just sign up to your email list whilst you're sleeping? It just makes things easier. So really, when you're thinking about growing your business, maybe you're at that stage at the moment, really think about, do you have the right things in place? Do you have terms and conditions where you work together, or contracts, or a way for people to really easily make appointments, so a booking system, for example. So having the right systems in place to cope with that with those clients, and especially if you notice yourself, if that's what's holding you back at the moment, that can often be a case of kind of maybe taking a step back and say, okay, I need to put a few things in place, maybe create a checklist of everything that you need to do, what you need to sort out. That doesn't mean that in the meantime you can't promote your business and grow, but really taking that step back and allocating some time. And I talk about kind of time blocking in another training around using Google Calendar to time block, but allocating time to put those foundations in place. Because a lot of the time what happens otherwise is that we keep growing, keep growing, keep growing, but we don't have those foundations and systems in place, and then we burn out. And it's a little bit like a house, we want to build really strong foundations to then build a house on top of it. And it's the same with the business. We want to have the right foundation systems in place that work for you. And I always talk about that. They really need to work for you. The way you're working, that works for your nervous system. Having these strong foundations in place will allow you to grow, maybe a little bit slower, but more sustainably. I think working in a nervous system friendly way is all about doing things maybe slightly differently, or maybe slightly slower, but more sustainably. And I think that makes all the difference. And with the right systems and foundations in place, we can do that. So maybe have a think about what foundations are keeping you at the moment from moving forward. And because it's really hard to work on a new project or create new things when actually those basic things are missing. And I find a lot of the time that comes from comparing ourselves to other people online, other people in other businesses that maybe been in business for 10, 20 years longer than we have, or even 3 to 5 years. That makes a difference. And we want to do what they're doing, but actually we're at a different stage, really noticing where you're at within your business, which stage of your business you're at, and what does that particular stage need. And a lot of the time that's these really strong foundations, and once they're sorted, you will also notice a little bit of clarity in your head, and a little bit more ease in your head, because you're not juggling 10 things, knowing that, oh, I want new clients, but actually I don't have my contract sorted yet. So it will allow you to then have brain space and capacity to really work on other things that you want to do to grow your business. But then you'll be able to do it more sustainably. So I hope this mini training was helpful. I'd love to know, as always, what was your biggest insight? Let me know in the comments or message me. And I am looking forward to seeing you again for another training, and thank you for joining.